It's the biggest row to hit the NDA government since they took charge last year. Controversy has erupted over External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj's alleged helping of former IPL chief Lalit Modi getting a travel documents. In fact, a British daily has blown the cover of how Indian origin MP in Britain Keith Vaz used the minister's name to expedite travel documents for Lalit Modi. According to the report, and India Today now has the letter of how Vaz cited Swaraj in his conversation with Sarah Rapson, the head of UK Visas and Immigration. In fact, less than 24 hours after Swaraj's name was invoked, Modi was granted his travel documents. A little background now for our viewers. Lalit Modi came to London in 2010 amid the IPL scam. His Indian passport was later revoked, leaving him grounded in the UK. He received his UK travel documents last summer after a lengthy battle with the UK Home Office. It is about how Lalit Modi got these travel documents is at the centre of this controversy now. Nicola Smith of the Sunday Times, who got that story and along with her team, spoke with us just a short while back. Let's listen in to the revelations she makes.
We were initially tracking the case because Keith Vaz was involved, a very prominent British MP, and during the course of the investigation, we realised that he had also mentioned Mrs. Swaraj's name when he was in a communication to a senior Home Office official in the UK, which is why we then started to look at this side of the story as well. I personally wasn't speaking to Keith Vaz, so I don't know all of the details of his response because there was a team of us working on this, and my colleague Dipesh in the UK was dealing with Mr. Vaz. But what we do know from his correspondence that we've seen is that he did say that Mrs. Swaraj had said that the Indian government had no objections to Mr. Modi being granted UK travel documents. Well, we're obviously still investigating that, but from what we've seen so far, he did make representations to the UK's highest immigration officer, Sarah Rapson, on Mr. Modi's behalf. And we're just looking at the question of whether he brought pressure to bear on her to grant him the travel documents. They were initially refused, and then that decision was reversed. So that's basically the thrust of our story at the London end. From what we've seen in the correspondence, it appears that she told Keith Vaz that there would be no adverse effects on British-Indian relations if Mr. Modi was granted the travel documents. We're not sure about the extent of the correspondence between Keith Vaz and Mrs. Swaraj. We did ask that question to Mrs. Swaraj, but we didn't receive a response on that particular point. But we're also not sure whether she was speaking in a personal capacity or whether she was speaking on behalf of the whole of the Indian government at that point. That's also not clear from the response that she gave to us on Friday to the story.
Well, External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj, who's in the spotlight for her assistance to Lalit Modi, has clarified to Prime Minister Modi on the issue. Sources have told India Today that Sushma Swaraj conveyed to the Prime Minister that she did nothing that was outside the purview of government rules. Meanwhile, security has also been beefed up outside Sushma Swaraj's residence in the wake of any possible protests. Meanwhile, Home Minister Rajnath Singh also spoke with the Prime Minister and briefed him about Sushma Swaraj's issue. The BJP and the government have now thrown their weight behind Sushma Swaraj. Meanwhile, Sushma Swaraj already tweeted this morning in her defense, and here's what Sushma Swaraj said. Sometime in July 2014, Lalit Modi spoke to me, and in fact, at that time, he told her that his wife was suffering from cancer and that her surgery was fixed for the 4th of August in Portugal. He told me that he had to be present in the hospital to sign the consent papers. He informed me that he had applied for travel documents in London, and the UK government was already preparing to give him travel documents. However, they were restrained by a UPA government communication that it will spoil the Indo-UK relations. This is what Sushma Swaraj put out on Twitter this morning, and then she goes ahead and says that taking a humanitarian view of this whole issue, I conveyed to the British High Commissioner that the British government should examine the request of Lalit Modi as per the rules of the British government. Really, that is what she said. According to the rules and regulations of Britain, if the British government chooses to give travel documents to Lalit Modi, that will not spoil our bilateral relations, is what Sushma Swaraj tweeted this morning in her defense. Now, Keith Vaz also spoke to me, is what Sushma Swaraj says, and I told him precisely what I told the British High Commissioner. I genuinely believe, is what she says, that in such a situation, giving emergency travel documents to an Indian citizen cannot and should not spoil relations between the two countries. Let's now listen in to what Amit Shah, the BJP president, said in Sushma Swaraj's defense. Also, the Home Minister Rajnath Singh coming out in strong defense of his colleague Sushma Swaraj. Executive Editor Javed Ansari is with us in the studio. Javed, does it appear that Amit Shah has indicated to the opposition and specifically to the Congress party that they will participate in the slugfest with all their gusto in case the Congress goes ahead and corners Sushma Swaraj anymore? Because he also spoke about how Quattrochi was given favors by the Congress party, dropping names over there.
You see, they don't need Amit Shah to tell them that this battle will be joined. This is, of course, political season, and both sides will spare nothing to bring the other down. This is an opportunity which has presented itself to the opposition, and the opposition is going to milk it for whatever it's worth. The line of defense that the government has chosen is that she's done nothing wrong, and they are trying to pin the opposition down, especially the Congress, by harping on what happened with Quattrochi and with Warren Anderson. Much of that is water under the bridge. This is a new issue, and therefore, till the government has decided to back up, much will depend on how the opposition can play this and whether there are more revelations. If indeed there's something does happen, then perhaps these are issues that will not go away, because
yes,
this is the government which came to power. Prime Minister Modi came to power adopting a moral high ground on issues of corruption, on probity, on
yes,
issues of transparency. Now, if he's seen shirking or not living up to those standards, perhaps there are questions that people will ask when the right time comes.
Let's go to Deputy Editor Smita Sharma as well. Smita, very interesting perspective here being given by the Aam Aadmi Party as well. They say that this is the breakout of an internal war in the Modi government. Sushma Swaraj just a short while back, and as you were yourself mentioning, that when the Modi government finished 1 year, many lauded her as the best performing minister. Are forces within the BJP playing against her? Is that the sense that you're getting?
Well, there are two things here, Maha. A, of course, on this BJP internal rift, there is no doubt that clearly there are, of course, different groups that have been operating. And we know for sure that it's not one unified, cohesive sort of a party. The BJP, which is always called itself a party with a difference, has always made it to news for being a party with many differences. And, Sushma Swaraj, of course, when she was the leader of the opposition, we know that her inclinations, her leanings always used to be with L.K. Advani, somebody whom, of course, Narendra Modi failed to take along with him. Rajnath Singh or Sushma Swaraj, they are ministers considered to be in one camp. Of course, you have other faces in the other camp. But having said that, the questions also remain that even if these stories are planted by, of course, some opposing camps, do these essentially come out as stories that can be blatantly dismissed of, or is there more substance?
Yes.
Is there more than meets the eye? So, there are 2-3 questions which I think Sushma Swaraj will have to come out and answer more specifically. A, did she intervene at the behest of the government itself? Was there a government position, or did she really intervene in a personal capacity using her office of the External Affairs Ministry?
That's right.
Also, if there is no illegality involved, but is there a question of impropriety or not, keeping in mind the close links that Lalit Modi over the years has indeed shared with Sushma Swaraj?
Yes, absolutely. In fact, there are pictures that we've been running since morning of a grab rather of Sushma Swaraj and Lalit Modi sitting together at what we understand one of the matches. So So clearly, their closeness is something that many, and especially the opposition, will be questioning. So this matter is unlikely to die down so soon. In fact, the RSS has also defended under fire External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj. Speaking to the media, RSS leader Indresh Kumar said that Sushma is a patriotic lady who would do nothing to compromise national interests. Let's listen into what Indresh Kumar had to say. All right, let's cut across now to the Congress headquarters where the Congress is getting ready to sharpen their offensive against External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj.
एक दुर्भाग्यपूर्ण और सनसनीखेज तथ्य और दस्तावेज देखे जिनके सीधे तार देश की विदेश मंत्री माननीय सुषमा स्वराज जी से जुड़े हैं और जो सीधे तौर से देश के प्रधानमंत्री माननीय नरेंद्र मोदी जी और वित्त मंत्रालय की कार्यप्रणाली पर सवाल खड़ा करता है। सुबह से मीडिया के माध्यम से, कागजों और तथ्यों के माध्यम से, दस्तावेजों के माध्यम से, देश और विदेशी सांसदों के बीच में गई ईमेल्स के माध्यम से हम देख रहे हैं कि मोदी सरकार का पूरा अमला किस प्रकार से फरार अपराधियों की मदद कर रहा है। सरकार में शीर्षतम स्तर पर कैसे परस्पर युद्ध चल रहा है, जिसको उत्तर भारत की खड़ी गोली में अगर मैं संज्ञा दूं तो उसे कुनबा घानी कहा जाता है, और कैसे देश के बाहर काला धन ले जाने वाले कुख्यात अपराधियों की भारतीय जनता पार्टी के नेताओं के साथ सांठगांठ है। इस पूरे मामले को लेकर देश की विदेश मंत्री माननीय सुषमा स्वराज जी की भूमिका न केवल घोर संदेह के घेरे में है, परंतु तथ्यों ने यह स्पष्ट कर दिया है कि श्रीमती सुषमा स्वराज का अपने पद पर बने रहना न नैतिक तौर से तर्कसंगत है, न कानूनी और संवैधानिक तौर से तर्कसंगत है, और उन्हें फौरन देश के विदेश मंत्री के पद से इस्तीफा देना चाहिए। हमने ये भी देखा कि माननीय सुषमा स्वराज जी ने एक ऐसे कानून के भगोड़े की मदद की, उसको ट्रैवल डॉक्यूमेंट्स लेने के लिए एक विदेशी सरकार से, जिसके खिलाफ भारत सरकार के एनफोर्समेंट डायरेक्टरेट का ब्लू कॉर्नर नोटिस है, लुकआउट सर्कुलर है, और जिसके खिलाफ भारत के इनकम टैक्स विभाग ने मनी लॉन्ड्रिंग को लेकर, क्रिकेट बैटिंग को लेकर, इलीगल मैच फिक्सिंग को लेकर, फॉरेन एक्सचेंज मैनेजमेंट एक्ट की वायलेशंस को लेकर जिस ललित मोदी पर 700 करोड़ रुपए की मनी लॉन्ड्रिंग के इल्जाम हैं, ऐसे व्यक्ति को न केवल देश की विदेश मंत्री श्रीमती सुषमा स्वराज ने ट्रैवल डॉक्यूमेंट्स दिलवाने में मदद की, परंतु अब यह भी स्पष्ट है कि यूनाइटेड किंगडम की सरकार से वो ट्रैवल डॉक्यूमेंट्स मिल जाने के बाद, जहां ललित मोदी जी ने कीथ वास, जो लेबर पार्टी के सांसद और वरिष्ठ नेता हैं, पूर्व मंत्री हैं, उनका धन्यवाद किया, उनके साथ साथ श्रीमती सुषमा स्वराज के पति माननीय स्वराज कौशल जी का भी धन्यवाद किया। यह भी अब तथ्यों और ईमेल से स्पष्ट है कि इससे पूर्व में भी श्रीमती सुषमा स्वराज व उनके पति श्री ललित मोदी और कीथ वॉस से अपने भतीजे की एक यूके के विश्वविद्यालय में कानून में दाखिले के लिए ईमेल्स और वार्ता का आदान प्रदान करते रहे हैं। ऐसे में हम मांग करते हैं कि न केवल प्रधानमंत्री श्रीमती सुषमा स्वराज जी को पद मुक्त करें, परंतु इस पूरे मामले को लेकर भारतीय जनता पार्टी के कई नेताओं समेत प्रधानमंत्री जी की भूमिका संदेह के घेरे में है, वित्त मंत्रालय की भूमिका संदेह के घेरे में है और एक व्यापक वक्तव्य इस देश के समक्ष श्री नरेंद्र मोदी ने, क्योंकि आम जनमानस की भाषा में कहें तो आज आम जनमानस पूछ रहा है कि क्या मोदी की मदद कर रहे थे? क्या अगर मोदी की मदद कर रहे थे तो इस बारे में पूरे व्यापक वक्तव्य की आवश्यकता है। इससे पहले कि मैं कुछ प्रश्न आपके समक्ष रखूं, I'd like to make a very brief statement in English. Friends, today India witnessed a most unfortunate and a sordid drama unfold where the highest offices of Government of India, including Office of External Affairs Minister Ms. Sushma Swaraj, was found to be directly involved, with a clear-cut needle of suspicion resting at the doorsteps of none less than the Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi ji, as also the role of Finance Ministry. We also saw what can be termed as a blatant quid pro quo on part of BJP leadership and Shri Lalit Modi. We also witnessed a near fratricidal war between the highest echelons of power and ministries in Government of India. We also witnessed as to how there is a clear-cut nexus between money launderers, match fixers, illegal bettors and BJP leadership that unfolded and proved and unraveled itself. It proves a clear-cut case of gross impropriety on part of the External Affairs Minister of India, Srimati Sushma Swaraj. It makes her position completely untenable. It is now established that Srimati Sushma Swaraj ji was helping a fugitive of law of India, was helping a person against whom Enforcement Directorate of India has issued a blue corner notice or a lookout circular for money laundering, for Foreign Exchange Management Act violations and for other similar offences to the tune of 700 crores. A fugitive who is being investigated by none less than the highest authorities of Income Tax Department of India for gross financial irregularities, for illegal betting, for duping various people and authorities. Why was Foreign Affairs Minister, External Affairs Minister of India, Ms. Sushma Swaraj, helping a fugitive of law who was being investigated by the Finance Ministry, Enforcement Directorate and Income Tax authorities? It is now also in public realm that Ms. Sushma Swaraj intervened and requested foreign officials of a foreign government, that is United Kingdom, to secure those travel documents for a fugitive of India, Mr. Lalit Modi. It is also now clear that on securing the travel documents, Shri Lalit Modi writes an email to UK Labour Member of Parliament Keith Voss, thanking him profusely and some other people. One of the persons who is thanked happens to be husband of Ms. Sushma Swaraj, Shri Swaraj Paul. It is Shri Swaraj Kaushal. I stand corrected. It is also now in public realm that in the past, Ms. Sushma Swaraj and her husband have been exchanging emails with Shri Lalit Modi, and through him with Shri Keith was the Labour Party MP, in securing admission of their nephew in Sussex University in the law department. All these facts clearly established a clear-cut nexus between money launderers and illegal bettors and highest echelons of Modi government. It also raises questions about role of Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi himself. It also raises questions about tacit understanding of Shri Narendra Modi in this entire episode. Before I take you to 11 questions that Congress party wants to ask, I want to draw your attention to a few emails and a few dates that have been exchanged. We all know that Shri Lalit Modi was stripped of all posts in the Indian cricket, including as Chief Commissioner of IPL in the year 2010. This was on account of money laundering, illegal betting and match fixing. In May and June 2013, something that is not in public realm, the then UPA government and its finance minister, Shri P. Chidambaram, writes 2 letters to United Kingdom government, to Chancellor of Exchequer, Mr. Osborne, and he asks on behalf of Government of India that action should be taken against Shri Lalit Modi as he is a fugitive of law from India. Shri P. Chidambaram, through these 2 written communications sent by Government of India to Government of United Kingdom, to Chancellor of Exchequer Mr. Osborne, also asks for extradition of Lalit Modi back to India. Mr. P. Chidambaram, the then Finance Minister, follows up this request of Government of India for action against Shri Lalit Modi, a fugitive of law, with a visit to United Kingdom.